Hey, soul siblings, it's Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained here on YouTube and in the Facebook group. And I'm getting ready to go out and I'm getting ready to go out for a second. But I had an epiphany, right? Or a revelation, right? So again, this is not put together by any means necessary. I am saying that we're just going to go ahead and go with the flow with this one, right? Because again, I heard somebody say today something about if you're not in Revelations, just forget about it, right? But for me, again, just the way I had to look at it today, there's certain energies and influences and all kind of stuff going on in this realm right now. It's chaos, right? We're on this timeline. We're trying to play catch up. Some people are trying to slow down time. Again, like another one of my soul siblings said, it's like time traveling, right? So they're not talking in the same context as we're about to talk about with the scripture here, but something that they said kind of reminded me of time traveling. And then, like I said, excuse me, the importance of revelations. But again, I see a lot of, other texts that we should be looking at that is also, I feel, referring to the end times that people don't necessarily look to because they're always looking at Revelations and there's all kind, but anyways, everybody, again, I can't say how whoever should do whatever they're going to do. I'm just telling you how I'm doing it. Okay. So I'm sitting here listening because again, some of us, okay, have been gifted or had certain ways bestowed upon them to see things, again, at these times and prior to. A lot of things, that I have done, I felt like, wait a minute, wow, why did I do that? Or why am I going to be marked or tagged the person that did this? But again, everything, I don't regret any of it, and everything had a reason, right? Okay, so nothing by coincidence. So again, I'm listening to this Psalms, and again, I go in and out of the text. I can sense, and just being an empathic type of person or someone who sees, the words sometimes can come in and regenerate themselves, right, for me, and show me in my actual life and in the spiritual realm some things that may have been blocked that I may not have necessarily seen before or even questioned. Again, because a lot of things I'm never here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me. But this makes me, for some reason, want to fight. Being a fighter, but actually show that we're doing things. We're doing, and again, it feels, but it's kind of liberating in a sense to really question things and really look at this text and see how it is affecting us in our day-to-day lives, and what we can learn from them. And then questioning things that people would think is, oh my goodness, unquestionable, right? Like, oh, that's blaspheming, or that's asking too many questions. And again, that's just what I do. That's just what I do. And that's just how we're going to do it. So before we just get too far with that, I'm always trying to look at the stories that have to do with the women in the text. Now, I think we already talked about Rahab. So when I'm listening to Psalm 89, and it's saying, I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness to all generations. Now, again, I'm just freestyling this. We're just going off,
For I have said, mercy shall be built up.
Okay. It says, for I have said, mercy shall be built. And again, I'm just kind of salty because, hold on, maybe I can, I'm not at home and I don't have my, a Bible. I don't know how that happened, that I didn't bring one with me. And if I do, I can't find it. So, for I have said, mercy shall be built up forever. Thy faithfulness shalt thou establish in the very heavens. So again, we're talking about the heavens all the time. Again, because I can just go off what I see, and what I'm taking in from the text, okay? And from other things that, So when we're talking heavens, again, there is okay, some people say that there's 7 heavens, right? All I can contest to is there's a heavenly, okay, allegorically, could we be talking a heavens of the mind, like your mind's eye, a way of thinking or something mentally. Then we have the heavens of this realm, in this worldly realm, which would be, you know what it is, the all-seeing eye, basically, right? We'll just call it that because that's just what's on top of the pyramid, right? It also reminds me of some type of an intelligence, right? When we're talking about the mind's eye. And then, you know, there's what religious, the religious aspect of heaven, which would be in the clouds. Now, I'm not saying that these things don't connect, the cosmos and all that stuff, again, within, without, or above, as above and so below, in a sense, right? Those things, those luminaries, are also attributes of beings here on this plane, in our bodies, in our heavenly bodies, right? So again, just keeping it real basic. Let's keep going. So it's talking about how they have dashed Rahab to pieces and gotten rid of her. And, you know, every female, again, gets her portion in the Bible. There is always some kind of chopping down of the woman. There's some ripping and stripping her apart to call her something that is grotesque, or something that is embarrassing, or she should be ashamed of. She should not be able to, right, have any type of pleasure in her life. She has to be cut down. You know, and again, this is also making me think of just in general, and this is a kind of off the subject, but it's really not, you know, of everybody always telling so-called Black women, origine women, that they have to change themselves to appear or appeal to people, especially men, again, and again, our men, but all men, because again, when it comes to origine women and men, there's usually slim pickings because of the false narratives, notion, and perceptions that we have, and the indoctrination that has been placed on the people. So, I mean, women in general, right? Okay, so because people are going to try to say I'm saying something some kind of way, women in general, but I'm just talking about us right now, because I feel like we are the only women that people call by a label first. Black woman, or a black girl. You know, they have something to say about a girl and she was black, it's a black girl, or this black girl. You know, even us, we do it. So again, right? And when it comes to being natural, it just seems like everybody wants to say that they want to point something about being natural to our women. Like, you know, not that we are not beautiful the way that we are made, but what society views as that beauty is totally different than what it really is. So when you have instances where people can, women, we can do whatever we want to do with ourselves, make up, make down, whatever the hell you want to do. That's your body. That's your, you know what I'm saying? Wig on, wig off. You know, you should be comfortable to be whoever you are, whenever you want to be. It should be, you know, again, for me, I won't say what it should be. For me, what I do is an expression of myself. If I want to have my hair out, I'll have it out. If I want to put a wig on, I'll put it on. You know, so again, I do what I want to do. But I feel like there's always this thing of stripping down the origine woman and telling her to go back to her natural this, and that, as if we are not already fighting, right? As if we are not already fighting for some type of place in a society that has been built upon our men that look like us, bashing us and treating us in a certain manner, and us then in turn treating us, because they're supposed to be protecting, right? And they're supposed to have a certain love for the woman where she doesn't have to feel certain things. And again, she has to have a certain love for herself so that she doesn't reciprocate or do these things, so she can also pass this down to her daughters or her daughters, right? Same in tune with the man and his sons. So again, the false narrative and notion that we have of how we're supposed to be is just is done with. And I see people are coming out of that. So we want to be, we We want to acknowledge that, right? But I was just wondering, why is it that everybody wants her to strip herself down bare, right? Oh, there's a bird out here making all this noise. To the bare minimal. Again, it's almost like it's some kind of ritualistic embarrassment. So, and I'm saying in a sense where, okay, nobody's telling any other women to be natural. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's telling any other women that they need to be natural. If we want to be natural, we want to do what we want to do, that's fine. But we should not be having people asking us and telling us what we should do to strip ourselves down when, again, not that because everybody else is doing it that you should want to do it either. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't even, that's not where I'm going with this, right? I'm just showing that all other men, and I'm not even saying that these are women, because women of other so-called ethnicities or so-called races applaud us and think we're gorgeous, and they support us in our natural hair and state and everything. They're amazed by our beauty. You know, it's mainly men of different so-called races and our own that are displeased. They want to say, oh, wear your hair natural, do this and that. But at the same time, they're displeased with that particular type of look. And even if we feel good and we're trying to bring it back, it's a struggle even still, sometimes with some men, because they have a false narrative or perception as to what beauty is, especially when it comes to us, because we're always separated, whether we want to be or not, and placed into a box somewhere, right? So again, I don't know why I even thought of that or why that even bothers me. It's just something that I feel like it bothers me. Like, for people to think, or men to think, that they should be able to tell you how to, you know, be. Now, we already know that there's other reasons why we should be wearing less makeup or something that is, you know, natural or something like that. We already know these particular things. But in a world where everybody else is doing this and wearing weaves and wearing wigs now and doing all these things, it's not just us. I feel like, and again, you can comment down below, let me know what you think. But I feel like when it comes to us, there's a thing. There's a thing, you know? And it brings me back to like a, because again, these men are looking at it in a slave narrative, I feel, right? It's not because they want to see their true beauty, because to be honest with you, they got their eyes going in so many directions. There's so many choices and opportunity, because more likely for our men, and this is not always true, right? For society to show us images of our men with other women, but in tune, you rarely see our women with other men. I'm telling you what society shows us, not what it is. You know what it is. You can only tell yourself what it is in your own environment around you. So, back to the point. So we're talking about Rahab, and it made me think about some things that, again, I have been thinking about lately. Some things I have been going through, some things I've been tapping into, things like this. And it says that Rahab was a heron, nonetheless known as Rahab the harlot, assisted two Israelite. Now, Israelite, right? So it's not Israel, it's real-ish or Israelite, right? Those are two, in my eyes, that's just how I see it. Those are two separate groups. If you look up light, or if you look up Israel, you know what I'm saying? The way that I read into it is two different groups. Maybe it's to make you think that it's one, but to me it's two. So Israelite spies. So again, especially them being spies and being light, you know, in the likeness of, almost like, right? Okay. So in escaping out a window and down the city wall of Jericho. So it says, who was Rahab in the Bible? And now it changes from a heroine, a heron, to a, let's see, a prostitute, right? Or just an innkeeper. So again, we have to look at this in a different light, right? Okay. A prostitute doesn't necessarily mean that somebody was actually having what we call sex today with a person. This just means that they were joined in some kind of way. They had some kind of connection, or they were having some workings with each other, dealings with each other in a sense, right? But someone wants us to think that we're talking about someone having sex with someone or whatever, which I don't even remember if they even mentioned anything about any of those types of acts in that manner. But I think just because people see the term prostitute, that's just what they think. Okay. So again, this is somebody that is having sexual relations, and those sexual relations can be somebody, let's see, like a spy. I mean, like an agent, or not even like an agent. I'm sorry, like joining with somebody in order to, how's the best way for me to explain this to you? Okay. They're having workings together, right? So you may supposed to be over here with this particular master, but you're making a deal with this other group in order to try to free your people, or to go around some type of boundaries or something. So again, it's actual having dealings with, where if you were with the British, if some of the Indians were fighting with the British, they were fighting with the British, but then sometimes they went over and had intercourse or relations with the French. And so, do you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that, right? Okay, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. I'm trying to stay on course so I don't make this video too long. And then an innkeeper. And if we think about the womb or the rib of a ship, and the rib of so-called Mary, and the ship queen, the Mary, okay, we know the ship's Jesus and Mary, right? So again, the womb or the belly of the boat, and the rib being removed. And, I'm just putting this together. Like, what are we really talking about when we talk about that? But then again, what are we really talking about here? Because an innkeeper is somebody that keeps someone in. And in this day and age, the way I'm seeing it, with so many things going on with technology, so many things going on with the mind's eye, telepathy, these telepathic, I just like to be careful, right? Okay. With all of these things that are going on with us and that are changing on the earth, right? So again, think of that as someone who is also keeping something in. Some of these things, again, may be knowing and unknowing. Right? Okay? So this is why I'm talking more about the spiritual aspect here of different energies, frequencies, entities, and things like this that are going in and out. Because again, we are a keeper. Because again, there are certain things that are going on where doors and gates and things are being opened and closed, and people are sitting at them all the time. So again, the prostitute or innkeeper, again, she may have hosted people, right? Again, and this, I'm just giving it to you how I see it on here. To each his own. Okay. So yeah, so it's keeping someone in. And again, to clarify this, I'm wondering if this could be something that she knowingly or unknowingly may have done. Something she may have been, what do you call it? Programmed to do or not. And again, in these day and age, you don't have to get that. We barely know how many different species and groups are on this plane right now. So it may be a point where you don't even have to get that thing, the vial, right? That they have different things where they can utilize your vessel for whatever they want. Pleasure, pain at this time. So it says, the innkeeper, basically, that's what I'm just saying. She was hosting. She was hosting some people. Okay. So it says, Did she live on the wall of Jericho or within? And again, these walls and these different walls and these altars and stuff that are built, we feel like there's always talking about some kind of stone building or whatever outside. But again, these altars are also the things that are being done, blockages and all these other things that are in the mind, I feel as well. Yeah, and what is known to archaeologists as a casemate wall. So again, her being on this wall could be having her in a certain space where she has limited access to some type of portals or some types of dimensions or some type of mind, something or whatever in this state or in this way. You know, I'm just seeing it. I'm just reading it as I see it. That are these women being wrongly charged? Because something also, again, could have been happening to them that they didn't know about or were unknowingly. Because a lot of these women, I would be sure, would be high priestess, scryers, so-called witches. And then again, after they're done with, after these particular people would be done with these women, what would happen to them? Well, hey, she's doing this. Okay, so then we're going to what? She's going to the stake, or she will be burned, or she will be cast out, or she will be, again, dashed to pieces or thrown to the ground. And again, the ground also, I feel, has to do with the caste system and being put down in the Sheol, or a lowest form of a being, again, on this plane right now, which again, that's if you have any type of, if you feel that you have some standing in their structure. Again, I do not, because spiritually, I am not, I am earth. I am a queen of heaven, or the queen, again, in my eyes, of my heaven, which is within me, which is my most high self, that I would feel would be connected to my most high Father or God. And that would be this vessel, right? As long as it's not being tampered with, would be the perfect vessel. And I'm not just talking about mine, but yours as well, for someone who was a creator of me, right? To access me, especially if he knows that words would be tampered with and that there was going to be a time where people would have to prophesy and see and seek and all these other things, right? It's just these days they have a different way to persecute you. There's different ways, and we're not even on the cusp of many people, the ones that are being awakened, right? Okay, or trying to take heed in hearing, right? They will see. They will be in like one mind, right? In a sense. And others are just going to be lost, or they're going to think they know but have no idea. And along with those who are waking, sometimes we think we know and have no idea. But again, I'm just trying to give different viewpoints that we can look at this so that you can be really paying attention and not just think that that's what you're doing. And you may not always be able to have all the answers and everything either, but you know, I'm opening up those doors so that, again, I would like to be a part of opening up those doors so that we can really see what's really going on and how deep it really is and how many different layers, you know, there are in the fabric of this soul society. So, okay. All right. So again, she helped these two Israelites when they came to spy the land of Jericho. Okay. So there, this Rahab, okay. Ooh, again, somebody just came to mind. Because again, the way I see these stories is so closely, I have to ask myself, do I have that spirit around me? What is this connected to? Who is this? Who can I see that I see this, right? So again, someone just came to mind. At first, you know, I was thinking something, but now I'm thinking something else. Okay. So again, they came to spy out the land of Jericho, and she hid them on her roof, again, which could be in her mind, a high spot, right? Okay. When the king came for them. Okay. Very strange. Because again, if the king, I don't know which king we would be talking about, would be also scanning the land, just like they're doing right now with all of their techie goods, to deal with the minds of the masses. It just is what it is. There's certain of us that are really targeted, and there's certain of us that these people know exactly who you are, how powerful you are, and they would like to have access to your vessel, right? Okay. So again, they would like to have access to your vessel. Okay. And what does this say? The eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, which eyes are we talking about? Which eye are we talking about? Which eyes? Okay. So again, so yeah, she hid them. And when the coast was clear, Rahab let the spies down by a rope through the window. Okay. So again, this made Rahab, again, I feel like at some point in time, these women that are powerful mentally, that may not even know their powers because they have been called names like, which, you know, different names and things that would make them feel insecure about being themselves or sharing their stories. These women, you know, would have, again, I've told you guys before, were used to conduct experiments and all types of things. And then after they were done with them, dashed to pieces, right? Okay. So, let's see. Spies down, okay, through the window. Okay. And oh, that's what I was going to say, that some of these people didn't even know. Some of these people, especially in that book that I was reading you guys before, that I don't know if we're going to be able to finish it or not, but hopefully, you know, you guys like what was out, what I've already put out. But she was being hypnotized, right? At certain times that she didn't know or wasn't aware of. But then again, at some point in time, the person in that book didn't even know that she didn't even know that she had the ability to then flip that and hypnotize that person. So again, I'm just telling y'all how I see it. So let's see. And that's why these wondering question episodes that we're having here is just that. Okay? You should leave here with some type of question to yourself or something, some kind of way. Again, that doesn't mean I have to change your view or opinion. Again, I'm just wondering here, right? Okay. So, let's see. And so again, some of these, what I wanted to say, their bodies or their vessels or their mind have been being tampered with without them knowing. Okay. All right. So, and the fact that it, you know, they were coming to spy on the land of Jericho. That land can also be a vessel. See, that land can also be a vessel. That's why I'm saying about people that you keep company with, different spirits, entities, and energies, and, you know, it's just a lot to be aware. That's why a lot of people, I think, draw away from people at some point in time in their journey, because you can sense these things, right? And again, these people will not come, like they say, the devil doesn't come with the horns and all this other stuff. These people don't come as enemies. Sometimes they come as friends and family members, you know, because again, you're dealing with yourself, you're dealing with whatever energies are in you. And then when you're going around other people, you're dealing with them, and you're dealing with other ancestral energy. You know, you're dealing with all kind of different frequencies and vibrations and all kind of stuff that are around that person as well. And again, we're just throwing things out there to help people, different people with a different mindset, grasp what we're talking about here. So this is why I use lots of terms, so everybody can get a sense of understanding. Okay. So again, I think I'm going to stop there because I'm like running out of breath. But we're going to go ahead and keep on with this. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna keep going with this. So let's just see. Let's just see what you guys think. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, because again, we can't be thinking old time, and then again, some of these texts were written for us to understand today. It's just we've been so heavily mass manipulated and indoctrinated that we can't see these things. And so since it's been from a baby, separation from the mother at an early age into daycare, all of these things cut off your genius. It cut off something that has to do with your well, I would like to say a gene in the gnosis. A gene gnosis. See, because the educate is to lead out. Is to lead out what is naturally, organically there. And to replace that with something that is indoctrination. There's nothing else you can even say about it. And so by doing that, they have hidden the gods from themselves. So you want to talk about a war against the gods. They're waking up now, right? And these entities don't want that to happen. But some of you are very powerful, and you're going to be attacked, and you're going to be, things like this is real stuff. We just have to talk about it. It's real stuff. So you just have to be careful. And there are some guides and some people that you can, I'm sorry, I'm at a place and somebody's moving some furniture around. But you're going to have to, again, I had to. Okay, and I won't tell you what you're going to have to do. But I had to start to really slow down and discern and separate what's going on here. And start looking at it in a new light. And again, going back to my old ways of how I used to do the work, because I'm not anybody else but myself. And again, I wouldn't be here with my message if somebody didn't want me to display it. And also, yeah, yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back.